It means doing the right thing even when no one's watching.
So do you think a lot of people do the wrong thing when no one's watching?
I think it's very easy to do the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Without an audience. Yeah.
What's the opposite of integrity?
I think it would be.
I told you I was going to get weird
Yeah,
with
I
it.
guess I don't have a word for the opposite of integrity. Yeah, I guess it's just, in my mind, it'd be wronging people.
Yeah.
So taking advantage of people, wronging people.
So I think there's a lot built into there to say right and wrong.
Yeah.
Right? So acting with virtue, is that what you would call integrity? Or
I think so.
I almost feel like there's a sense of durability to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would say the opposite of integrity is almost like, I don't know, temporary. You know what I mean? Like this is like, when I think of furniture, right? Like nowadays you can't find, it's all made out of MDF. And that stuff drives me crazy because it has no integrity.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Whereas I want something that's more solid, hard, has integrity, right? Like, and when I asked you for the word of the day, you said, does everybody do integrity? What makes you think, why would everybody say integrity?
I just feel like it's an overused word, especially when you look at, you look at the core values of small businesses, and I think there's always a big push to have like a mission statement or core values,
Sure.
and it's almost always listed in core values as, integrity, and I think it's more people list it because they have to almost, I feel like.
Yeah, but you're not that way. You
No.
list it because, what do you think makes it so important to you to have integrity? Where did that come from?
Yeah, so I think it helps build trust, just in your personal life, but more specifically in the business. So if you're out acting with integrity, your crew does what's right, you're doing what's right, then it helps build the trust. And to me, that's the cornerstone of any business.
Absolutely. Welcome to the show, where we explore the who, what, when, how, and why of the extraordinary people who define our North of Normal Metro. I'm Conrad Fargo, and this is the Fargo Five. Today we have Jon Berton, the owner and manager of Heroes Lawn Care. Hello, John.
Hello.
So I met you, or heard of you, through John Haug, who said you take care of his lawns. And I said, I'll give him a call. I'm trying to book up my schedule. I didn't have anybody scheduled for this week, so pull you in here. You graciously came in. I want to start out getting to know you a little bit, maybe warm you up a little bit. So let's talk about life in Fargo, because that's kind of the theme of the show. Mm-hmm. What's it like being a person who lives in Fargo, and then what is it that you do in Fargo? Living in Fargo here in the metro, if you have to go out to eat somewhere, right? We're going to start with the Fargo Five favorites. So we got the 5 favorites: the restaurant, meeting location, grocery store, recreation, and business. Those are the 5. We're going to start with the first one here. You're going out to eat tonight. Where are you going out and why?
Yeah, probably going to go to Kobe's Japanese
Really?
restaurant.
You're a big Kobe fan, huh?
Oh, 100%. Yep. The sushi's
that's
where it's at. It's the best I've found in Fargo. If there's somewhere better, let me know. But
yeah, well, I don't know from good. I think people like Kobe's a lot. Mm-hmm. That's for sure. So my wife is actually Japanese.
Okay.
And as is John's wife. That's actually how I know John Howe.
Oh, really?
Yes. And so as far as authentic sushi goes, I don't know that they're authentic, but they definitely are a big favorite amongst the locals.
Sure.
I'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what is it that you like to get when you're there?
Oh, I usually switch it up every time, but I always go sushi. So,
Yeah.
it's just different roll every time, kind of.
Different roll. So you're big on the rolls,
Big time,
not the actual sushi, but like the California roll kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, with whatever Kobe's is putting on the menu at the time.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
You might want to try. I love Osaka. So a big shout out to Osaka.
Okay.
Since you brought it up and you said,
Nice.
you know one better?
Yeah.
I do know one better. Osaka is very good. Okay. So as a business owner, you're a business owner. I'm a business owner. You own Heroes Lawn Care. Now, I imagine you spend a lot of time chasing after help more than you do chasing after work. I'm sure you're flooded with work and looking for help, right?
Yes.
I can clock that from a mile away, that business style. But do you go to meet new employees, like you get them for a coffee or a beverage firsthand, or do you just hold meetings at your office? Like, where's...
Yeah, so this morning I actually had an interview, and it was on the job site.
Okay.
Yep, so I try to do them in the office, a little bit more formalized, be able to sit down and talk, without any interruption, but about 50% of my interviews take place out on the job site.
I mean, are you often going out to get a beer or a coffee with people, or maybe after work? Where would you go if you're going to go catch a beverage and just hang out with somebody? What would be your favorite third place, your favorite meeting place?
Yeah, so if we're going to sit down and have some lunch, I'll go to El Agave.
El Agave.
Yep. I like they have pretty good lunches there. Mexican food, obviously.
Where's that at?
It's just off of 45th.
Okay.
Kind of South Fargo.
I've never been there before. That's not where the old Mexican Village used to be, or is there? There's nothing in there yet.
No.
Okay.
There might be new. I thought I saw some activity in the building, but anyways, no. El Agave is a different.
We drive up and down. Okay. Now this one is the one where we're really going to get to know you because it really says about where you live and the kind of person you are. Where do you go get your staples? What's your favorite grocery store in town?
Yep, it'd be. I don't usually do the grocery shopping, so I'll caveat this response. It's usually cash-wise.
Okay.
Off of 52nd.
Yeah. So the new one.
Yeah.
So you must live down around there.
Yeah. So I live south of town, about 30 miles or so.
Oh, you're not even in town. So
No.
but most of your work is
100% of it.
So you've got like an hour.
About a 30-minute drive. Yeah.
An hour commute though.
Yep.
30 in and 30 out.
Yep.
I mean, every single day. Plus, you're putting in a full day, and you're not a big music guy.
No.
What are you doing in the car?
Sometimes I sit like a psychopath in the silence.
I mean, do you?
Oh yeah.
People. Wow. I'm the total opposite. Like I require, and I thought it was generational because we're about the same age. I get the feel. How old are you?
38.
38. Okay. I just turned 40, so similar ages.
Yep.
I kind of feel the millennial ADHD. We constantly need the dopamine. I definitely do, but you're not so much.
Not as much. I'll do about 25% of the time it's in silence, and then the rest of the time I'll listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
Usually like specifically lawn care podcasts,
Really?
building business podcasts. Yeah.
People tell me they listen to podcasts and they listen to like business stuff and things like that. I didn't realize they were so popular. When I listen to podcasts, it's all like very spicy political stuff that I won't tell you about because like that's my me time. Yeah. Because you're not allowed in a modern day to have a political opinion. So I like to hear people get inside of a little bit of an echo chamber. Not so much the case with you. You're only self-improvement stuff.
Yeah, I can't do the political stuff, man. It
just makes you too angry.
Oh, it does. Yeah. Too angry, too stressed about something I can't control. So it's
I think that's
out the
healthy.
window.
That's very healthy. Okay, so on your time off when you're not working and you're not commuting, which is, you think about that, that's at least 5 hours a week just driving.
Yeah.
You and I are not similar creatures. So I can't. So I used to live just over by Prairie Wood, if you know what that is, and it's because both interstates right there. Everything was like 5 minutes. Now I live in South Point, so now everything's 10 minutes instead of 5, and I'm just like pulling my hair out. How long it takes to get anywhere, I couldn't imagine. Where are you? 30 miles south? That's
Colfax.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you do They have some kind of like a new construction. They're pushing really hard to try to make that be a thing. How do you like it out there?
Yeah, it's nice. We don't live in that. We bought an older farmhouse a little bit out of town, but yeah, the new subdivision they're putting in there is nice. A lot of nice houses in there. We've done a little bit of work in there, but yeah,
fantastic incentives that they have.
Yeah.
But you've got like a whole farmstead.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. And the last question, of course, is your favorite business, which I imagine would be yours.
Heroes Lawn Care.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what we call in the business a segue. So now we're going to segue into talking about your business. Why don't you tell us about what Heroes Lawn Care is and what you do?
Yeah, so lawn care company, we do fertilizer and weed control, landscaping, irrigation repair, and installation, sod, basically anything you need outside, we can help.
How does that compare? So is it landscape? Would you call that landscaping? Does like Dirt Dynamics do something similar to you, or are they more like is it rough scaping versus soft scaping? Like what is that? What is all that? I have no idea what I'm talking about with lawns.
Yeah, so we're not quite the same as Dirt Dynamic. They do a lot more of like commercial dirt moving stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it comes to landscaping, we do more like edging, the curbing around the house as you see, the rock beds, flowers, that sort of thing. So we don't do hardscaping, so I can't do like paver patios, but I know a guy. So
you know a guy. Okay. And does everybody kind of split the division of labor that way, or it just kind of depends on who you pick up the phone?
Yeah, just kind of depends.
Yeah, every business is just a little bit different.
Yep.
You said you've got a crew.
Yes.
How many people are you juggling at the moment?
Right now I think I'm at 5 right now.
5 full-time, and they're full-time people,
Yep.
so you're managing nearly 200 hours a week.
Yeah.
And how long have you been in doing that?
Yeah, so this is our 3rd summer in business. We opened,
That's quick scale.
midsummer of 2023.
Yeah.
And then, we do this in the summertime. In the wintertime, we're pushing snow.
And so at this point, what I'd really like to do is just kind of slow down and get your day-to-day. If somebody says to themselves, well, gosh, I want to run a lawn care, and lawn care is such a wide variety. Again, I'm also going to want to focus on the variety of things that you do because, you think of like a kid goes door to door with his mom's or his dad's lawnmower and he's like, can I mow your lawn?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a little bit more than that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you've got so much work that you've got 5 full-time people going.
Mm-hmm.
And then are you doing the work yourself these days, or you're mostly management now?
Yeah, I try not to.
Yeah.
My big shift this year was focusing on sales and customers. So been trying to make that shift. But yeah, I mean, like days like today, one of my leads couldn't make it in. So, out there at the crew and
that's how it usually goes.
Yep.
With these kinds of, I often say that, there's a spectrum where either you've got more work than or either you're begging for work and you could get all the workers you needed if you could get the work, and the work is nice when you can find it. Like that's real estate is like that. I'm a realtor at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Premier Properties. I got to say that legally I have to disclose. I can't not.
Oh, nice.
That is one end, and then I had a cleaning business for 10 years where we had up to 5. They weren't full time, but we had like up to 5 employees, just couldn't keep people behind the vacuums, right? Yeah. And I'm sure you have a similar never-ending struggle. Mm-hmm. But and then, once you do have somebody in the role, they probably call in sick a lot, or, so there's always some excuse.
Yes.
Right? There's always something.
Yes, we experienced that. This year, I've had higher attrition than my past 2 years. Yeah. Last year, I had a really good crew that stuck around all season, actually.
Where do you find them?
So these guys, I found the first, he responded to an Indeed ad I had, and he was part of a fraternity here at NDSU. So I asked him if he had any. Yep, I said, do you have any buddies that need some work? And he sent me a couple guys, and they worked out really well. So.
Yeah. And so what is your day-to-day looking like? So, gosh, you got to drive 30 minutes in, and then you have an office space. So you're getting up at home, up at the farmstead.
Yep.
And you're driving straight to work 5 days a week, or what's at your level of business? You're 3 years in. You've got a crew of 5 people. What's it look like being the boss like that?
Yeah. So get up, head out the door. I have to feed all the animals. We have
You got animals?
Well, we got animals. Yes. Yeah,
okay. Tell me. I mean, this is the show. So, like, what I want to do more than anything is really get. If somebody. It's like, gosh, I don't like my life. I want a different life. They want to live vicariously through you and maybe see if, maybe they could slide into these shoes. And so to be Jon Berton of Heroes Lawn Care, you have to own a farm with animals.
Yeah.
How many animals are we talking?
Oh, I don't even know. We have.
Oh, my.
So we have a mini pony. We got a couple goats. We have at least 50 chickens.
Well, you're not messing around.
No, a handful of ducks. Then, the usual cats and dogs and all that fun stuff.
No cows, though.
No, because my wife and I have a disagreement about the cows. None of these animals we have serve a purpose other than they're just pets, right?
Do you have a daughter? What do you got for kids?
Yeah, I got...
and that's where the pony comes in, right? Naturally?
Yeah, I got 4 kids, all under 7.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah, I got my oldest son, Luke, then Paige, and then Jack and Cash, my 2 youngest boys.
Very good.
So, yeah. But, yeah, it's getting up early, going feeding all the animals, hitting the road. 30 minutes of silence.
Well, I guess when you got 4, I mean, and I think people don't realize it. Like when you have young kids, I got 3, 7, 5, and 2.
Nice. Okay.
So, and it is just a constant grind. Mm-hmm. Not especially when you live out in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, do you have family nearby, or is it just like you and your wife?
Yep. So my parents live with me right now.
Oh. Well, that's nice.
Yeah. So Dad helps me with the business, and then
that's a huge
Mom
blessing.
helps with the kids. Yeah.
That's a huge blessing. If you didn't know.
Yeah.
Because the kids are a handful.
They are. Yep.
Okay. Yep. And so you drive in straight to the office.
Yep.
and you're in front of a spreadsheet or you're getting to work? Like which?
Yeah. So usually when I show up, I'm showing up around 6:30 to 7, and primarily my morning is just scheduling. So any scheduling I didn't get done the night before, I'll set up the guys. So as soon as they get in, they're hitting the door running. They're not hanging out drinking coffee.
Dispatch is done day to day.
Yeah.
Okay. So they show up and they're on the clock waiting for you to tell them where to go.
Yes.
That sounds expensive.
Yeah. Yep. It can be. So I figured that out. Try to stay efficient in that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, scheduling the guys, making sure that the trucks are loaded with all the tools they're going to need.
And what kind of tools is that? I mean, the variety of services you provide, is it just like a bunch of riding lawnmowers?
So it'll be, if we're going out to do the fertilizer route, it's making sure the spray tank's full and the sprayer's ready to go, and he's got enough fertilizer in there and all that. And then if we're heading out to do the landscaping job, it's just shovels and rakes and wheelbarrows and that sort of thing. And then, going out to doing an irrigation install, it'll be all the irrigation tools and the pipe and the sprinkler heads and all that stuff.
Do a lot of people post hoc put sprinkler systems in? Like, is that really common?
It is, yeah. Yep. So this year, it's probably been like 80% of irrigation installs have been existing homes. So then 20% is like new builds.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yep.
So you're out there, people are calling you, they're having you do a lot of irrigation, but what about weeds? So this is something where I have a personal interest. So I own 3 homes. I don't sell them. I just keep moving into the next one. And so, I have one as an Airbnb, another as a rental. Now I'm in this new home. Each home I've had has just been embarrassing as far as like the weeds go, right? Like the creeping Charlie and then just other stuff, like they're bad. Do most people spray? Like, I feel like this is something, again, I'm a realtor. This is something I feel like somehow I should have known, but I didn't really know what people do to take care of lawn care. Like, but I don't think everybody's hiring somebody, right? Like, if you were to have like an owner's manual for taking care of a lawn, like what is expected of a typical homeowner?
Yeah. So it starts with the mowing. So, keeping the yard mowed.
When I learned you don't want to go too short.
Right. Yeah. You want to keep it around 3 inches in this area. So
like forever.
Yeah.
I kept going as short as possible so that I could go as long as possible without having to cut.
Right.
So that was probably mistake number 1.
Yeah. Yeah. That can lead to, if you go too short, it's easier for the weeds to penetrate into the yard.
Yeah.
A good thick yard actually deters weeds quite a bit. So if you have a nice, thick, lush yard, if you start off with nice grass, then you're definitely a leg up. But yeah, a lot of people have seasonal services for weed control and fertilizer. So, our base package, we offer four applications. It's about the sweet spot we found where, we're staying ahead of the weeds. So after about 4 to 6 weeks, you will start to see weeds popping up here and there. And then we come out and take care of those and fertilize the yard, give it some food. And
is that what I think they call weed and feed, or you're just, and that's what it's doing? Are you also then putting more grass seed out each time as well with that? Like, is it 3 things at once, or what? Yeah, tell me more about that, because I guess I just don't have my head wrapped around what you're doing.
Yeah, so it's whenever we go out, it's just the fertilizer and the weed control. So like with the weed control, our first application of the spring will be a pre-emergent. So that's going to prevent the weeds from germinating. So it gives the yard a head start, gives the grass a head start. We're putting down a starter fertilizer, which just simply means it has higher levels of like nitrogen and iron in it, just to help the yard green up quicker, get the nutrients back into the soil after a long winter. And then we, for the next application, we'll move on to a post-emergent. So basically the opposite of a pre-emergent. Whenever we start seeing the dandelions popping up, we're taking care of those. And then depending on the time of year, will dictate the type of fertilizer we're using. So
why not just do it myself?
Yeah.
Why not? And why didn't I? Is everybody else either hiring somebody or doing it themselves? Because I don't. It's like the thing. Have you ever seen your neighbors bring in groceries? Like that
right,
joke.
never
Like,
seen it.
are we living in a simulation? Are they real? I've never seen them actually bring in groceries. I've also never seen them. I've seen them mowing their lawn. I've never seen anybody. I feel like I've seen professional services like you guys come out, but I don't know if I've seen everybody's spraying. Like, if you don't, are you going to end up with a mess? Or do I just have, when you come across somebody who's owned 3 properties and 2 of them really are an embarrassment?
Yeah.
Did I just get unlucky? Like, what caused it?
Yeah. So usually it's just neglect. If you're a homeowner and you want to do it yourself, by all means, like, you can go to any of the big box stores and you can get some pretty decent products. They might not take care of all of the weeds. That's kind of where we come in, but it'll take care of a majority of it, and you can get some pretty good fertilizing products as well. So yeah, if you got the time and the energy to, at the end of the day, to come home and fertilize the yard,
Well,
then,
I don't like chemicals.
Yeah.
So to me, they're like fundamentally dirty. And so like I tried spraying it one time, and I just like I get weird about stuff that I think is dirty. And
Sure.
so like I'm just like, get the chemical off me. So I think I'd like to let you guys handle it, frankly.
Yeah.
But what's a realistic result? I had shown you some pictures of where my lawn is at currently. Would it just kill? It only kills the bad stuff? How does that work?
Yeah, it only kills the bad stuff. It's called selective herbicide. So it'll only target the weeds. Will target essentially everything but grass. And then it will, some weed control specializes in different type of weeds. So like in the spring, we'll use one that targets dandelions, because you see a lot of dandelions in the spring. And then this time of year, we're switching over to like a crabgrass weed control, because right now during the heat of the summer, the grass starts to go dormant a little bit, stops growing quite as much, and the crabgrass really thrives in the hotter temps, and so you'll see it more prevalent.
And so after you apply that, so I honestly, I think I'm just going to call you to come over and hit that. Like after I apply it, how long can I expect for it to go away? And then does it get replaced with grass, or does it go away and then now I've got a dirt patch where there once was weeds?
Yeah, so it depends on the extent of the weeds. If the weeds are quite thick, then yeah, it might be alarming after your yard gets treated. We've seen it wipe out half of a yard because half the yard was weeds. So yeah, in that scenario, we recommend overseeding. So we'll come in when it's a little bit cooler. We recommend doing overseeding in the spring and the fall. So yeah, like this time of year, we'll kind of hold off on seeding, and then in the fall we'll seed it. We recommend an aeration. Basically what an aeration does, it's the service where it punches holes in the ground and pulls out plugs. So you'll see those 2-3 inch long dirt plugs laying in someone's yard. Yeah. I always refer to them as dog turds. But
you just leave them there, let them melt back in, right?
Yep.
It's dirt.
They'll break back down. Yeah.
Do you use like a industrial machine for that, or you have a hand machine for the aeration?
Yep. So I own a walk behind unit, and we do most of it with that. And then the larger lots or commercial properties, we'll rent a ride on aerator.
And so what is that, if somebody's doing like the 4 sprays a year, does that include the seeding or no?
Nope.
Okay. Nope. So if somebody's doing like the 4 sprays a year, what does that run? Yeah,
it depends on the size of the yard, but entry packages are.
I've got a third of an acre.
Okay. Yeah. So those are about $80 to $90 an application. So
that's it.
Yeah.
That's
it.
I mean, that's at least worth me just driving to the big box store and coming home, let alone getting it done.
Right.
How soon can you come over and get it done?
Yeah, we hold off when it's hot like this. But,
okay.
Typically when guys call in, when customers call in, we can get them in within a week or so.
Okay. Well, and then you just want to set it up for the 4 times a year.
Yep.
And so, I want to circle back to. So I showed you that picture of where I've got. You said it was crabgrass, like right along the side there, right next to the.
Yep.
It's probably because the grass got ran over by the tire coming in there. It's right by the driveway there. Mm-hmm. When you spray it, when will I see a difference?
Yeah, it'll die usually within 3 days. You'll see it curling up and turning brown.
And then it'll just be gone.
Yeah, it'll be gone.
And then we've got, so the house, I just moved into it in June. It's got the stone whatever in the front. It's like I don't know what you even call it, like a little decoration, a little stone garden in the front, and a whole bunch of weeds coming up and even grass. Same application, and they'll all just drift away, or how am I supposed to take care of that?
Yeah, so like in the rock beds and along like the landscaped areas along the houses, stuff like that, we'll recommend, it's essentially Roundup. It's a non-selective herbicide, so exact opposite. It'll kill everything we spray it on. So we'll go through and spray out areas like that.
And you're not afraid that would run off into the rest of the lawn and kill it if we were to just soak that rock bed area?
Yeah, so it won't. We don't apply it that heavy. We just use a little hand sprayer.
And that's enough?
That's enough. Yep.
Doesn't take much. And then how's that on top of the $90 an application or whatever?
Yeah, it kind of depends on the size of the rock area, but I mean, we're out there for, $60 to $100.
You're already
whatever.
there. I mean, you're already there, right? Okay.
Yep.
So let's go into what it took to start something like this up. So you've been doing it for 5 years.
3, yeah.
3 years.
Yep.
You have 5 employees. You're doing it for 3 years. You have 5 employees. You're doing the thing where you dispatch and juggle and work on sales, but probably half the time you need to get behind a machine because somebody's sick, right?
Yep.
That's. Did you start off with a crew, or was it just you and a truck when you began?
Yeah, so kind of backing up even further than that. So before this, I worked in the oil and gas industry. I was over on the west side of the state.
Yeah.
And that was my career prior to this.
Okay.
I was getting a little bit burnt out.
They call them roughnecks, right?
Yeah.
You're a roughneck.
Yep. I'd been doing it for almost 17 years. Got a little bit burnt out on it. Was looking for a quote unquote side hustle, I guess. I had some real estate already, a couple rental properties, and that was when interest rates started spiking. It was just after COVID. And so I held off on buying anything else. I was looking at, maybe starting a business. And this is actually part of a franchise, Heroes is. It's a very small franchise, but we're a franchise. So, I started shopping around for a franchise. Thought that'd be the easiest way to start up a business on the side. And, kind of fell in with Heroes after shopping around for a while. I didn't even live here when we started it. We fired it up. I hired a general manager and 2 employees, and they were off and running. They opened it up. I was here for the grand opening. I was coming over here about once every other month or so for about a week at a time, just to make sure things were going well. But that was short-lived. It lasted for maybe 5 months, and then
that passive income wasn't so passive.
No, it's not. No, it's no. So my general manager didn't quite work out, to put it mildly.
So so we've got 30 minutes left. I'm in the show. I really want to do like the Lifetime original movie of you being a roughneck and then deciding to have this passive income business, because I think there's many such cases of people being like, was it the podcasts? Is it that where the idea came from, or what was happening in your life where you were like, I need to have all these investments as a because you're out west.
Yep.
And is rough? That's not a disparaging term, is it?
No.
Okay. So I can keep saying that.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm saying a slur.
No.
Over and over.
No.
Okay. So I don't know.
You can even call us oil field trash. We actually enjoy that. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are out west doing the fracking work, right? Like this is that
exactly.
out there. I know a few people who have done that. The janitor of lunacy. Do you know him?
No.
Okay. How many people But you lived out there, because a lot of people move and then
rotate. Yeah.
Like 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off.
Right.
You were full time onto it, and it's like dangerous work.
Yeah.
Like it's not. I mean, it's not soft hands.
No.
Silver spoon. Like this
No.
is. Why on earth did you go out to do that? What were you doing before being a roughneck?
Yeah, I was in school, so it was my first career. I had been going to college for like 2 years. Didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah,
didn't know what I wanted to major in. So I decided to take a summer off and go. Actually, started in Colorado. So I went to Colorado and started there. After about a year or so working in Colorado, we started coming up here to North Dakota. On a rotation, kind of like you're describing.
You from here originally, though?
No.
Okay,
No.
So your parents followed you all the way around.
Yeah.
Where are you from originally?
I grew up in Michigan.
Michigan?
Yeah.
So over by, were you near the big body of water there, the Great Lake?
Yeah, I was about an hour away from Lake Michigan.
Yeah. It's beautiful. I rarely leave Fargo.
Okay.
Because I don't like driving, right? Like, so the 30-minute commute, I want to die.
Yeah.
I drove out to Chicago, which was awful. But man, that water out there is it's pretty.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It really is. And so you grew up around all that. That was high school and then college. You were doing college out there too?
Yep.
And you didn't know what you wanted to do.
No.
And so you say to yourself, well, I hear you make a lot of money. Like, where did the idea...
Yeah, it came from, I had a couple friends that actually were out in Colorado doing the same thing. They told me about it, so it was on my radar.
They said, come on out and let's get rich together.
Yeah, then my dad and my he wasn't my brother-in-law yet, but soon to be brother-in-law. Went out there maybe 2 or 3 weeks before I did, and they called back and said, there's work here, and come on out. So,
and it's crazy money. Like, can you share, like, because people who don't know, and you don't have to be, they train you.
They train you, yeah.
So it's like getting pressed into service, right? Like you just drive out there and say, I'll be one of these.
Yeah, it's not hard to make 6 figures your first year.
Yeah. And from nothing. And so you go out there, you're rolling in the money, and you follow it up to Western North Dakota. Where do you start buying these rental properties and doing all these investments? Just so you have more money than you know what to do with?
Yeah. I just wanted something outside of... So the oil career is very boom or bust. So one day you're working and the next day you could not be. So I didn't like the insecurity of that. Even being with the same company for all those years, there's still the what if. Yeah. So that's the reason I started looking at the rentals. I started buying them during COVID, just out of boredom.
Where did the idea of why rentals?
Yeah, it was, I don't know how I stumbled on that. It was probably a podcast, honestly.
Yeah.
But I had some other friends that were doing rentals. I didn't know how else to invest the money, so I started looking at those.
Now, are these like single family homes or multiplexes?
Yeah, so I had a fourplex.
Okay. Yep. And not in the town you were living in, though.
No, so I had this one down in down in Kansas City.
And that was your first time trying to buy something that cash flows.
Yeah.
Where you're not at arm's reach of it.
Mm-hmm.
And how did that experience, because that's kind of a different ball of wax from being like an owner, operator, business owner, and runner, right? And I think that's kind of, I'm picking up that might be the through line here. And so like the first thing you do is buy a fourplex where you're not around.
Yep.
What was the whole process there? How did you buy it? How many fourplexes did you look at? Did you just, I'll take this one?
Yeah. So I looked for, we probably looked at dozens and dozens of units. My realtor was a saint. He just video me in every time.
You weren't physically going there?
No, I didn't see my unit till a year after I purchased it, probably. Yeah. It was pretty cool. Yeah.
And did it work out?
It did. Yeah.
Yeah. It cash flowed.
Yeah, it cash flowed most months.
Threw it at a property management company, let them handle the headaches.
Yeah, and that's a headache in itself. Yeah.
Well, they just take their percentage and call it a day, right?
Yeah.
How is hiring a property management? So I've got a guy right now who doesn't want to hire a property management. He's like, I'll just put together my own crew, but he's not in town. And I'm like, property management probably be less of a headache.
Yeah.
But even the property management's a headache?
It is. Yeah. I'm sure if you had a better quality property management company, it'd be better.
Okay.
But, I didn't. The first one I hired, it just poor communication. The units would sit vacant for too long, and he just wasn't in a big rush to get people in the door.
But they were still taking their 8%.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Or what percent were they taking?
It was like something like that. I don't remember now.
8, 10, 6.
Yeah.
They vary.
Yeah.
But I feel like you're going to get what you pay for.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, for sure.
Kind of a thing. And so that wasn't for you, or you still have that fourplex?
Nope. I sold it actually recently to put more money into the business. I wanted to focus 100% on the business and not have any other distractions.
Yeah.
I will get back into real estate. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Overall, the overall experience was positive for me. I made money selling the property.
Well, I know somebody who can help you.
Yeah, right on, dude. Right on.
So you're doing the oil field thing.
Yep.
You're making lots of money. You're buying properties. You're listening to podcasts. And you like this idea of just like it cash flows and it runs itself.
Yeah.
Like that seems to be like what you've gotten the taste for.
Mm-hmm.
And so where does the lawn care, that is of all the things.
Yeah. So I started shopping around. Like I said, I didn't want to buy another property. Just interest rates were too high. And so started looking at franchises, looking at those business models. And when you do that, you get like a consultant, I guess you can call it, but it's someone who shops around for you for franchises. So they'll put you in front of 4 or 5 different franchises. You'll meet those,
How do you meet that guy?
Yeah. So I found him on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yep.
And so like you just went shopping on LinkedIn for franchise consultants And what was that interaction like? So you just slide into his DMs through LinkedIn. People do things I don't.
Yeah.
I live on Facebook, and 90% of my business comes from Facebook. So I get social media, but LinkedIn just feels so. It works though.
Yeah,
It's like a real thing.
yeah, and that's the only thing I've really used it for.
Is finding that guy.
Yeah,
And
pretty
so,
much.
So you pop up, find the guy,
Yeah.
and then dip. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but you just slide into his DMs, and you're like, I would like to give you some money, please.
Yeah, yeah. I
And
was like, I
he
need
was-
some help with this process, and so he jumped on it. And he was a great guy to work with. And they don't you don't pay them. The franchise you go with will pay them. So it's a free service, well worth it if you're looking to do something like that. But yeah, we shopped around. I think he put me in front of 5 or 7 different franchises, different models.
He had to qualify you somehow, though, right?
Yeah.
He was. Do you know what his minimum? So, like, if I wanted to reach out, like, what's the torture test they put you? How do you get pre-qualified to?
Yeah, it's mostly financial based, so you have to be worth X amount.
Yeah. Do you remember what the minimum amount
Oh man.
is, or do you remember what your net worth was at the time? If you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, I think it was around $1 million. You had
Okay.
to be.
That's not so out of reach.
No, yeah, and then we have the rental properties that helps out quite a bit.
But you need net worth, right?
Yeah.
Not just.
Yeah,
Not just.
yeah,
I've had some people, oh, I'm a millionaire, and they're like leveraged to the gills. It's like,
Yeah.
not really,
yeah,
buddy.
yeah.
You're-
And that's kind of how I got to be, but you
Yeah,
know,
yeah. No,
that's
no.
what happens.
I like leveraging.
Yeah, for
I got
sure.
into real estate because I like mortgage
Yeah.
loans
Yeah.
and I like having them. That's why I own 3 properties and why
Yep.
I got into real estate in the first place. So I like it.
Yeah.
But you got to pay it off to actually have the net worth.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
that's how that works.
Yep.
So you show them. So they're not looking for your current. So, because most of the time when you're looking for financing, you have to show both kind of a net worth or collateralizable assets as well as ongoing cash flow. Is that part of it, or
Yeah.
you have to show like I have all this stuff going on,
Yep.
and before they'll even talk to you.
Yeah.
But then he will take you shopping.
Yep.
And he'll just sends you a link and says, "How about this store?" Or
Yeah.
how does it come to you?
Yeah, so we spent I don't know, a couple hours I guess, where he would interview me, and I mean he's asking, what are your likes, what are you doing for work, what have you done for work in the past, what do you all sorts of questions. He'd feel you out, and at the end of it he's like, well, I think you do well with home service based businesses, so he's like, that's what we'll focus on. So yeah, I mean it was everything from like there was a water restoration business where you're cleaning up after flooding. There was a budget blinds type business. So it was a bunch of different, it was all over the place.
Yeah.
It wasn't just lawn care. I think Heroes was either the only one or one of 2 lawn care businesses we looked at. So yeah, and then so once we looked at everything,
But why? So you had the idea first of buying a franchise. I'm very cheap,
Yeah.
and I like the first thing I asked you about the lawn. Like, why not do it myself?
right.
And I, to my detriment, and I understand it's a toxic trait of mine. I'm always just like, I could do that. I don't need to. I'll just, and when you think about it, when you hire somebody, you have to first earn the money and pay taxes on that money to give. You know what I mean? So any work, DIY. The reason DIY is so popular and effective is because the work is done tax free. So not only if it normally gets $100 an hour, not only am I making $100 an hour by just doing it myself, as long as I have a 70% efficiency rate,
Right.
I'm and then I generate. I don't always have opportunities to make $100 an hour, right? So you would as a redneck. So I mean, so I guess I can see that. Like, is it just why the franchise?
Yeah, because I didn't know how to start a business, to put it simply.
Yeah, you'd never.
Dude, I didn't even know the first step.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
how do I even
Yeah.
get an LLC? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what turned me onto the franchise model. Is basically the concept is, you walk in, you pay them to use their brand. They set you up. They tell you steps 1 through 10 to get up and running. They help with the hiring. They help with, setting up your LLC. They help with getting supplies and setting up vendors. And it was attractive to me because once again I thought this was going to be a side hustle, something I managed on the side, and just kept my 9-to-5 job.
Yeah. Well, and then did you have to put so much money in, right? So what was the startup capital required? And were you just injecting cash that you had lying around, or were you getting financing to start this up?
So I got an SBA to start.
Yeah.
It was around $500K to start the business.
But they make that probably slicker is. So what else I do besides real estate is and I don't have to disclose this, but I'm going to anyway because I love the work I do for the SBDC.
Okay.
I work for the Small Business Administration, help people starting up their businesses.
Nice.
And the difficult part is putting together their loan package and shopping it around, right? Like, and I'm very good at helping with that. I enjoy doing that work. I work for a nonprofit on the side. That's my side hustle.
Nice.
But it's very challenging to put together a loan package. I bet you those franchises, they make it real slick. Like it came turnkey. Like, here's what you go to the bank with.
Yep.
And you go to the bank and say, here's my financial statement. Here's what the franchise gave me. Money now, please.
Yeah.
It's just as simple as that.
Yeah, it was. So they had their own recommended bank they wanted us to use, and they even had their own person inside that bank, their own contact, right?
It's all,
and so that part was simple. Yeah, that part was simple. Going through the whole approval process was a little bit painful.
Still, even with the franchise behind you like that.
Yeah, it just seemed like every day they needed another document. It wasn't like, here's a list of things you need to provide for us.
Yeah.
It was that, but there was like, every day I felt like I got a call or an email
just
requesting
verifying your assets or verifying your projections?
all of it.
Really?
Yeah, everything.
Even with the franchise coming in and saying, here's the pre-cut.
Yeah, once they...
Even
like
with their preferred lender. That surprises me.
Yeah, like even the projection...
Because it is always a pain.
Yeah,
which I help people with, but I'm not working with a franchise.
Yeah, so they want to know specifics for like the Fargo area.
Yeah.
And
like
so...
what? Like what kind of specifics?
Like what I would charge for a fertilizing service and what's the market. So I had to actually call around all the competitors in the area and say, I have this address. How much is it to,
Sure.
do the fertilizer and weed control?
And the franchise didn't have that offhand already.
Not for this area.
Okay.
No.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
So we had to do our own legwork.
Yeah.
Most of the franchises are down south, like in Texas and Florida. So a completely different market down there.
Wow.
So yeah, there's a little bit more legwork on my end, but that was the most. It took about let's see. I started the process in April of 23, and we opened our doors in August of 23.
With the manager, you hire the manager, and you're doing this because you're still out west.
Yeah.
And why Fargo then, of all places?
Yeah. So it had to be a population of 200,000 or more, and
nowhere out west has that.
No. Nearest place was like Billings, Montana.
Yeah.
And I wanted to stay in North Dakota. So
why that? Why?
Because I lived here and I wanted to stay in North Dakota. I enjoy living here. Might surprise people, I guess, but yeah, I love it here. So
yeah, North Dakota more. I mean, you were already so close to Billings, though. But
about the same distance, yeah.
Oh, okay.
About 5 hours.
But Fargo was better. What's so great about Fargo? Like what?
Yeah, so
compared to Billings.
Yeah, so the rate of the population increase year over year has been double digits for the last 5, probably longer now, probably 8 years.
I believe it.
Yeah, so it's been over 10% year over year.
Yeah.
So that was a big turn on, the amount of construction going on here compared to Billings or any other sizable
you looked
towns.
into all that.
Yeah.
You're very analytical kind of a guy, but also I don't know what I want to do in college, so let's go be a roughneck. Now I got more money than I know what to do with, so let's buy an apartment that's not nearby. That works out okay, and then you say, all right, let's get a franchise.
Yep.
I think that was very adult, and I've never heard anybody doing that. That was very cool. I think that's the nugget of very interesting that I'm walking away. That's cool.
Yeah.
Because I think when most people hear like, oh, I'm going to set up a passive whatever, you first go, oh, you want to, oh, you're too good for work, but you're a hardworking guy. Mm-hmm. You set up the business, and I told you time flies. Now we've only got 10 minutes.
Okay.
I want to get from there to here. So you hire a manager, and it's just not working out. Like, what was the process? Because you had never run a business before.
No.
So what was it like having the manager in the beginning, and how did you get an inkling that things were going wrong?
Yeah, there was definitely a honeymoon phase. I mean, I thought it was going great. Every job we landed was like,
free money.
Yeah, we're doing great. And then like the finances started not adding up. Customer acquisition wasn't there. I was getting customer complaints. And so I did a surprise visit, and things were a mess, to put it mildly. I'd realized really quick this wasn't going to work.
Yeah. Well, good for you for seeing it.
So I had a decision to make at that point. I mean, my wife was 6 months pregnant with our third child.
Oh, yeah.
I was not ready to resign out of my job. I wanted to continue working. I hadn't even thought about moving. So all of a sudden, within a month, we we started house shopping here. I listed my house for sale. I didn't use a realtor, did it myself.
How'd that go?
Great.
Okay,
Actually.
good. I'm glad for you.
Sorry, I know you're a realtor, but anyone looking to sell their house,
Yeah.
I'd recommend looking into doing it yourself. To me, it's probably not for everybody, but I enjoyed it because I was already kind of in the real estate world a little bit, but
yeah, I don't want to sound self-serving, so this is what I'll say. I mean, to me, integrity is very important to me as well, and so what I'll say is that how can I say it? How do I want to say it without getting in trouble from my boss? We are very well paid, and there are instances where you can take care of it yourself, and I would never recommend somebody to not do that if they were hell-bent on doing it, but having the infrastructure in place for when things do go wrong. So when it goes smoothly, that's great, but when it doesn't, now you're in bed because the real estate transaction doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
It's not like selling a car. You know, this is kind of what I try to warn people and tell them is it's not the case that like just somebody shows up and says, I'll take it, and they write a check, and then you close that moment. It's a 30, 60-day process. It's a 90-day process, and every little thing, if you're not prepared to jump through and troubleshoot, now the most expensive asset you own is in limbo with nobody to support you.
Right.
And so, yeah, the 6% maybe is a little steep, but I think the alternative is very dangerous. I think it's a risk versus reward thing.
Yeah.
And even I would use a realtor when selling my house, even though I would do it my own self. And even like my own, if I do ever end up selling my own houses, I certainly won't take both sides on it because I don't want the liability of taking care of the buyer of the property that I'm selling.
Yeah, I definitely it's out of the norm for a seller to sell their own home.
Yeah.
And
I think there's a reason. I think there's a good reason for that. There's a good reason for that.
It's the reasons you went over. So I was getting generally like negative feedback from other realtors that would come to look at the house. And so that was the frustrating.
Because they have sour grapes that you're taking money away from. And I try not to S on the FSBOs.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not, it's fine. It's fine if you want to try and do that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yep. So sold the house, and we purchased our house here. Like I said, we bought in Colfax. We already had a couple of the animals that I previously listed. So it was a good experience moving. I guess that's a joke between my wife and I. We move like every 5 years, either to a different house or to a different area. And it was year 5, and I wasn't ready to move, but here we are moving. And so we loaded up the kids, the animals. I made a couple trips with my trailer, getting all of our stuff here to the new home. I went back and had to finish out. I gave them a month notice, about 5 weeks. So I was an operations manager, so it's a fairly important role in the business. I had no ill will against the business. I've been working there for 16 years, so I wanted to leave the right way. So I was living in my house that was vacant, just on an air mattress for a couple weeks while my family was here. And then, made the full transition, took over the day-to-day. But
I mean, you really, what made you, why not just shut down the lawn care? So it's not working.
Yeah.
Why quit the very lucrative?
Yep. I had that decision, right? It was either shut down the business and lose all that capital I had invested, which would have been a pretty hard hit.
I mean, you could still sell off the assets of the business, or like what kind of capital was tied up? Like, what were you looking at losing?
Yeah, so we had to have, with the franchise agreement, you have to pay for like a year of advertising up front, and they require X amount of thousands of dollars per month to do that.
Okay.
I had to have my employees' wages a year of them up front.
Oh.
So I could float them for a year of wages.
Yeah.
A year of rent. It was just like
Yeah.
all your monthly expenses. I had to have a year's worth of it.
And this was already, you were tied up.
This was in the SBA, yeah.
Yeah, and so you were already, and how many months in when you were like, something's not right? 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
it was like
trying to...
5 months or so, 6
Okay.
months. Yeah.
And you didn't want to eat that 7 months.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
if you shut down, you still would have had to eat the 7
the whole
months.
year. Yeah,
Yeah.
the whole year's worth of
Yeah.
all that. And then, yeah, I could have sold
Well,
off
you were
the
5 months
assets.
in.
Yeah.
So it would have been 7 months that
Yeah.
you would
Oh,
have
yeah.
eaten,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Because
Right.
you were already behind.
Yep.
Maybe it kind of paid for itself. And I'm just
Yeah.
trying to think, like, what was your loss? You
Yeah.
didn't want to lose that 7 month. You decided just to quit and move up and move everything?
Yeah.
That's still, I still don't quite understand the financial, 7 months.
Plus
It's
I
a lot,
wanted,
I guess.
yeah, plus I wanted to exit the oil industry anyways. So I think this was my prompting to get
Okay.
out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it was either hire another general manager and go through the process again. And it took me several months to find this one. And the business we've been running without any leadership, essentially, being here. So, yeah, it was a lot of prayer went into it, a lot of discussing with the family and trying to figure out, which way we're going to go.
And how did mom and dad come along for all this? They're back in Michigan, or
They were in Colorado.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They followed you to Colorado in the first place?
I followed, kind of. We all went together.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a whole nother
Yeah.
story.
Okay.
But yeah, so they were in Colorado. I'd been trying to convince them to move up to North Dakota for a while. Especially we started having kids. It's nice to have the parents nearby.
Yes, it is.
I tried convincing all my siblings to move here to North Dakota, and no, they didn't want to. So, they moved up here. My dad wanted to help me with the business, so that's how they came to be here in Fargo.
Okay. And so then here you are. 3 years later, you've been having enough success that you are getting still not quite passive.
Yeah, no, there's nothing passive about this.
Yeah, that would be, whenever people tell me they want, when anybody has told me they read Rich Dad Poor Dad, I raise and I'm like, all right, here we go. Because that passive income is a tax. It's a tax category. It just means that you're not paying self-employment taxes.
Sure.
Which is great. It's great to save that 15%, but it doesn't actually mean passive. It just means legal loopholes. I'm a tax advisor. That's not tax advice. All right. Well, that's such an exciting story. I think, what would you say is your why in all of that? Like, what do you think is the through line of the story? We just, I don't know that I see a single theme, because you've adapted and changed so many times, and you've gone from I'll do whatever it takes to make as much money as possible to I want to build something with that, to kind of falling into I guess I am building something with that, but you didn't go out to Colorado to build something. So where did the internal change come from? It's hard to say. Maybe just getting married and having kids.
Yeah, that does affect you dramatically. My wife and I were married for 10 years before we had kids, just because of my job. I was all over the United States with that industry. And then, wanting to provide, wanting to not be on call 24/7 with my previous role I was. So, I don't
want to be on call 24/7. I'm going to be a business owner.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, but it's better because after 5 p.m., there's no emergencies.
Yeah.
So, there's no lawn care emergency, right? So that part's nice. In the oil industry, there's a lot of emergencies that happen overnight.
Yeah, okay. So I'm thinking about my cleaning and then people want to start cleaning companies. That's the one people try to start up the most. They're like, I'll have an overnight crew. And I'm like,
don't do it. Yeah.
Because on call, but you really are only on call 9 to 5.
Yeah.
That's nice about it.
Yeah, that part's enjoyable. But yeah, at the end of the day, I guess I always want to be, financially independent, I guess you can call it. So I think the only true way to that is through running a business. I think I don't have a boss to answer to, I have my customers that I answer to, and I really enjoy that aspect. I enjoy, not having to report to someone every day, and being able to run the business based on my decisions. And to me, that's been really rewarding. So
Yeah, I don't know if self-employment will always lead you to financial independence, but it gives you independence.
Yeah.
At least you have
There you go.
independence.
There you go.
All right, well, John, thank you so much for coming on. The last thing we do here is plugs. If people want to get a hold of you or they want to hire you, they want you to your crew to come spray, because I don't want $80. You can come spray. As soon get me on the calendar. How do we reach out to you?
Yeah, you can always give us a shout. Look us up on Facebook. I try to put reels on there a couple times a week, just showing what we're doing, what we're up to. So check us out there. Other than that, our website, heroeslawncare.com.
Of course, I'm Conrad Fargo. You can find me anywhere you type in Conrad and Fargo. You put those two words together, I'm going to pop up. So find me, consume me, share, like, and subscribe to me. I require your validation. You, listener, I need you. So please like, share, and subscribe. Conrad Fargo. You just type it in real easy. Conrad Fargo. We are going to, you didn't want a music, and so...
Can we go 3 minutes of silence or no?
No, we are not doing 3 minutes of silence. We are going to listen to a song of my choosing, which actually I think is very apropos. So it's Grizz's Falling and Flying, and the opening is, once you start to think everything is guiding you towards something, you realize that you were never in control, and losing that control can feel like falling, but once you learn to let go, that's when you start to fly. That's very appropriate,
Nice.
right?
Nice.
Right? So I think that'll be a good song for you. We're going to listen to that. So again, thank you for coming on. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And we will catch you all next week. Goodbye.